you take one picture of my phone? Just one.
Is it girls only or is he somebody I can solve? I can solve. All right. Okay, let's see you inside.
I mean, this should be the bike.
I want you to meet him.
Excuse
I
me.
didn't even get to say hello.
Yeah, Nagesh and go come here. Bring it.
Hello. Do you have an extra battery?
You would have to ask her.
Yeah, we have. I think they have a 3. Yeah, 3 points. I think enough is good for it. Or you put that on in your pocket.
Extra bag?
Extra battery.
You would have to ask her.
Your daddies know that?
That's not my fault. I'm his son's friend.
Okay, okay. So Nagesh is not your daddy. Oh, why is he calling that my son is over there?
It's just friendly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, try talking. Okay, I think they are here.
Hi everybody. If you could slowly make your way to your tables, we're going to be starting in about 4 minutes. Please make your way to your tables.
I have spare one also. Huh? No
So I just little bit zoom your. This one is good, too wide.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right is the full stage.
Yeah, okay.
So I-
Whatever you want,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
no
do.
way
You are a
about
pro, you can do it.
Where is my drink?
Huh?
Where's my drink?
Huh?
Where's my drink?
Oh, which one do you want? I don't know.
What?
What kind of?
Coke.
Coke. Somebody Canberry juice or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Huh?
Nagesh? Nagesh?
Hi everyone. If you could please take your seat, we'll be starting shortly.
Is he? ए नागेश इस पे बैटरी डलेगा
Yeah, already just now I changed it. One more battery is there.
कितना चलता है ये एक बैटरी पे
2.5 hours.
ओ बहुत
Hi everyone. Just another ask to please make it to your seats. We're going to be starting in the next few minutes.
Hum volunteers, please have your signs ready. Hum volunteers.
May I kindly request everyone to take their seats please so that we can start the program soon.
But
This one is fine. Thank you. ये मेरे कैमरे का फ्रेम है. My frame, this one is yours. So one might just cover the whole dash, and this one is closer.
yeah, we need okay, that's good. Dancing time we need.
Nobody but us.
Did you hear the audio? Audio. Hey, go there. You go there. Okay. Okay. Take the. Go get beer. 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 Go get it.
Beer and deer.
You want some water with or cherry?
Coke. Cherry Coke. I think okay.
For him, that one, you can do whatever you want.
Well, Nagesh, I asked you before.
Good evening, everyone.
You need a good program. Next time you call me.
Can we please have the lights on the stage? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to 42nd Annual Gala of Indian Medical Association of Northwest Indiana. For those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Shilpa Malikar. I'm an internist with Franciscan Physician Network in Munster. It's my pleasure today to kick off this evening by introducing our MCs. We have Dr. Sheila Konda, who's a radiologist specializing in breast imaging for 14 years. She holds a Doctor of Medicine and PhD from University of Illinois and completed her radiology residency at University of Chicago, breast imaging fellowship at Northwestern University. Currently, she is a medical director of breast center at Franciscan Health Hospital in Munster. But the most important thing is she has agreed to be our master of ceremonies, Dr. Sheila Konda. Then we have Saveda Majetti. She's a fourth-year medical student at Indiana School of Medicine, aspiring to be a gynecologist with a fellowship in gynecologic oncology. We have enjoyed seeing Saveda growing up in Northwest Indiana, and it's really exciting to see next generation entering the medical profession. So we are in for a wonderful night. Let's settle in and enjoy the festivities. With that, I hand it over to our soon-to-be Dr. Saveda Majetti.
Hi everyone, thank you for that kind introduction. Next, we will introduce our national anthem singers. First, the American national anthem will be performed by Adrita Bhattacharya and the Indian national anthem by Tanvi Torgal. Tanvi is a senior in Munster High School and Adrita is a junior in Munster High School. Both of them are part of the Munster High School choir and have performed at the Salzburg Dome in Austria. So without further ado, our national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाके तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे Thank you, Tadli and Adrita, for a wonderful rendition of both of our national anthems. So we may be revealing some secrets here. Just so you know, this could be the first time we've had two women as not masters of the ceremonies, but mistresses of ceremonies. Number two, this could also be the very first time that we've had such a large age difference. So technically I'm Gen X,
And apparently I am Gen Z.
so the question is, I guess it's good we're not millennials, huh, Sabeda? So the question is there a difference between Gen Z and Gen X either as MCs or as physicians? Let's see. I don't know, I took a master class for MCing, and I took all the notes here, my post-its and everything. I'm ready for this, are you?
I spent 5 minutes reading the script on my phone while I was driving with both feet on the highway.
Oh my God. Okay, forget my notes. Okay, we're gonna have a contest between Gen Z, no, that's you, and Gen X, who, I'm sure you guys all know about consults. We're gonna see how Gen X is gonna do the consults, and then we're gonna see how Gen Z does the consults when we're in the hospital. And we'll see who's gonna answer it first. Okay, turn your phones on because I know I have most of your numbers.
Before we get started, can you raise your hand if you still use phone calls for consults? Nobody?
Oh my goodness.
And who uses secure chat?
Okay, I'm calling someone. I'm waiting. Yeah, I have a 55-year-old female. She has a 3rd-degree heart block, Dr. Dasari. Would you mind putting in a pacer? Oh, you will? Okay, great.
I would say that took 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, I think I'm being ghosted by my own mother.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing we have in common. Both of our parents are in the audience. Sorry. Okay. So as you guys know,
Sheila, have you figured out this whole dictation thing yet as a radiologist? Because I'm realizing I might have to do it soon as a resident.
definitely, I'm totally in my element. It's completely in the dark. I don't know what this bright light is over here. Period, next paragraph, let's go on. Scratch that. So Savannah, just to be prepared, I know she's going to be going into OBGYN. What are the 3 most common surgeries that OBGYNs do?
If I had to guess, I would say a hysterectomy, a cesarean section, maybe a leap,
I don't know, you got 1 out of the 3. For sure, after talk to my esteemed colleagues, can you raise your hand if you're an OBGYN? A few? Okay, good. This is what I heard after taking a poll. They said yes, hysterectomy is the most common surgery, followed by right ureteral transection and left ureteral transection. Oh my God, sorry, there go all my OB friends. You know, the theme of this Saveda is lasting bonds. I'm not trying to break any bonds.
But you know what we both have in common?
What is that?
We both drew the short straw for emceeing tonight.
Yes, but I hope you guys have a great time and we're gonna get you through this night all the way through dinner and entertainment, so stay with us.
Thank you.
So I would like to take the next few minutes to introduce our IMA President Dr. Sanjay Riker, and his better half, Dr. Shilpa Malakar. Dr. Riker is a practicing hospitalist working for Franciscan for the past 14 years. He earned his medical and postgraduate degree in ENT, so I know some ENTs out there, and had a neck surgery from India, but he's also MRCS, which is a member of the Royal College of Surgeons from Glasgow, UK. He completed his MD in internal medicine through a residency at Mercy Hospital and UIC Chicago. He's a member of several medical staff committees and actively participates in community outreach efforts. And I've had the opportunity to witness his tremendous energy and interact with him and his tireless work in the IMA despite his busy schedule, and it's always with a smile. And Dr. Shilpa Malakar is also a practicing internist at Franciscan since 2011. She also earned her medical and postgraduate degrees from India and MRCP, which is member of the Royal College of Physicians from the UK. She completed the residency at the same place. I'm wondering if that's where they met, but I doubt it. Mercy Hospital and UIC in Chicago, and she's also a practicing internist for the past 13 years in Munster. And I've gotten to know Shilpa very well during this whole gala function and other things, and she's very good at bringing everybody together. So without further ado, I welcome both the President, Dr. Sanjay Riker, and his better half, Dr. Shilpa Malakar, to the stage for the welcome address.
Thank you, Sheila, for this wonderful introduction. Good evening, esteemed members, honored guests, and friends. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 42nd Annual Gala of the Indian Medical Association of Northwest Indiana. Tonight, we gather not only to celebrate our achievements, but also to honor the dedication and the commitment of our members who work tirelessly to advance healthcare in our communities. As we celebrate our 42nd anniversary, we reflect on how far we have come. The Indian Medical Association, founded in 1981 by a small group of physicians, has grown tremendously. Today, our IMA family includes nearly 450 healthcare providers in Northwest Indiana, and we continue to expand each year. With the themes of lasting bonds, we celebrate this unforgettable evening as a tribute to enduring connection we cherish. This gala will honor the strong relationship among our esteemed guests, including distinguished physicians, medical administrators, community figures, and cherished friends and family. Your support helps us continue building meaningful connections through charitable activities and community partnerships. In previous years, Indian Medical Association has contributed to various projects aimed at enhancing the quality of homeless shelter across Northwest Indiana. including replacing HVAC systems in Brothers Keeper Shelter. We also organized a child suicide and opiate crisis prevention fair. We extend our heartfelt thanks to everyone who contributed their time, money, and suggestions. Your generosity is truly appreciated. Let's enjoy the evening as we celebrate our community, our voices, and our accomplishment. Thank you all. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
It's my great pleasure to now invite to the stage United States Congressman Mr. Shri Thanedar, representing Michigan's 13th Congressional District. Originally from South India, Congressman Thanedar has been dedicated advocate for our community. Please join me in welcoming him to the lamp lighting ceremony.
You can shift loud, not loud.
I invite the Congressman to speak a few words for us now.
Good evening. How's everybody? You all look so beautiful. What a great event. And it's good to see you taking some time to relax. Because many of the doctors work so hard and it is a tough job. But then it's so rewarding that you save so many lives. You make so much difference in so many people's lives. And I want you to give yourself a big hand for the service that you provide to America. My name is Shri Thanedar. I grew up in Belgaum. Born in India. Many of you are immigrants here. I am an immigrant just like you. I was 24 years old, living in poverty, taking care of my 6 sisters, a brother, when my father lost his job. And then I got admission into a PhD program in Ohio. All I needed to do was go to the Mumbai consulate, get a student F1 visa, and come to the United States. And that was going to change my life, my family's life. Little did I know, I went up there at 5 a.m., stand in line, and my counselor, Miss Virginia, rejected my visa and broke my heart. And then I went back, gave more documents, and she rejected my visa for the second time. And then I gave even more documents to support my case. She rejected my visa for the 3rd time. And then I asked my professor here in America, who wrote me a great letter, and I put that letter on top of my package and hoped that that would change her mind. And she rejected my student visa for the 4th time. I had nothing new to give, So I took the same papers and a week later resubmitted that, and they approved my visa. So I asked them, why did Miss Virginia change her mind? And they said, oh, she's gone to America for her vacation. And that's how broken our immigration system is. Many of you have experienced the long delays in getting the green card and processing, getting your loved ones to come visit here is such a difficult thing. Now, as a United States Congressman, I have a seat at the table on Homeland Security, where we talk about protecting America's borders and setting America's immigration policy. I'm working on quadrupling the H-1B visas, making the green card process easier, and I'm working to make sure that highly degreed people don't have to go through the long delays in getting their green card. In Congress, I'm also focused on mental health and mental illness and increasing the access to mental health on par with physical health. So that is an area that I have focused on, introduced many bills, and trying to make a difference so that we address the mental health pandemic in this country. Thank you so much for all you do. I want to thank you, and I just wanted to be here, and I want to thank Dr. Bharat Barai and Kalpesh Joshi, who has hosted me and invited me to this beautiful ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congressman, for sharing your story and the work that you do with us. First, I just want to give a brief shout out to the centerpieces on your table. Please take a look at these beautiful centerpieces, which were sponsored by Pinnacle Hospitals. This was thoughtfully created by a group of wonderful volunteers. This centerpiece features a glowing candle encased in a delicate lantern with gold framing. Surrounding the lantern are decorative elements including lush green eucalyptus leaves and soft artificial roses in shades of pale blue and deep navy. The warm light from the candle casts a soft glow on the surrounding foliage, creating a cozy and elegant ambiance. You can take home one of these stunning centerpieces tonight simply by scanning the QR code on the card to make your payment. All proceeds will go directly to support those with financial hardships and other charities in Northwest Indiana during the holiday season. It's a wonderful way to give back while taking home a beautiful memory of the evening. Next is the invocation dance, and the performers are Anvi Riker, Rania Rai, Suvali Giridharan, and Saumyakta Swaminathan. Bharatanatyam and Kathak, two of India's most revered classical dance forms. They will grace the stage at this year's gala with a mesmerizing invocation performance. Bharatanatyam, originating from Tamil Nadu, is known for its precise footwork, intricate gestures, and expressive storytelling that seamlessly blend devotion and artistry. In contrast, Kathak, hailing from North India, captures tales of love, valor, and spirituality. Together, these two styles will offer a captivating fusion of tradition, culture, and spiritual reverence, setting an elegant tone for this evening's celebrations. Let's welcome our dancers to the stage.
him another hand. We're hoping to see that later on the dance floor. Oh, okay, let's do that again. We're hoping to see that later on the open dance floor. And I think we'll right now spare you the difference between Gen Z and Gen X version until the end. Right now, I'd like to invite Dr. Vidya Kora to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Mukamala. Dr. Kora doesn't need an introduction, but I will do a very brief one. He's been practicing internal medicine in Michigan City since 1986. He currently serves on the City Council in Michigan City, and for over 25 years, he served on the Northern Indiana Regional Board of Franciscan Alliance. I know Franciscans over there. At the AMA, American Medical Association, he served on the board of the AMA's Political Action Committee, the AMPAC, for the last 8 years, and has also been its chair. And he's been part of the Unity Foundation of LaPorte County, which is a community foundation promoting philanthropy in LaPorte County. And with that, I would like to invite Dr. Kora and take it over. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Ladies and gentlemen, about 25 years ago, when I first started going to the AMA House of Delegates, I saw a young physician, his wife, and his father, all from Flint, Michigan, and all very active in the deliberations of the House of Delegates of the AMA, advocating on behalf of our profession. Over the years, he has risen through the ranks of the AMA leadership, serving on the Council on Medical Service, the Board of Trustees. He has served as the board chair of the AMA, and finally, this past summer, he became the first Indian American to become the president-elect of our American Medical Association. Bobby is an otolaryngologist and a head and neck surgeon. He and his wife, Neetha Kulkarni, who is an obstetrician and gynecologist, returned to Flint after the residency and set up a private practice to take care of the healthcare needs of the community. And they still practice there today. Bobby is a passionate advocate for public health and is deeply committed to the revitalization of Flint and the safety of its residents following its well-publicized struggles with high levels of lead in the drinking water. He's active in his community and is the immediate past chair of the Community Foundation of Greater Flint. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to present to you the President-elect of our American Medical Association, Dr. Bobby Mukamala.
Thank you, and good evening, and thank you, Uncle, for that gracious introduction. You know, it's an honor to be with you here on behalf of the American Medical Association. Thank you to the members and the leaders in this room for the leadership and the vision you have for healthcare. The AMA stands with you. As President-elect of the American Medical Association, I recognize the importance of our unified approach to tackling the many challenges that exist in healthcare today. No matter where you live, what specialty you practice, we all know these challenges viscerally. As an otolaryngologist in an independent practice in Flint, as you heard, I see these issues that we are all facing every day. But I can tell you that there is good news, that we have a battle that we are in. The American Medical Association is fighting to reform the unsustainable Medicare payment system, things like prior authorization that steal time from our patients, and we're pushing back against inappropriate scope of practice expansions that jeopardize patient care. And so in the short time today, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of the advocacy that we're doing. So if I could have the slides, please. You can go to the next one. So again, I'll just share a little bit about my background and why these issues are so important to me. You've already heard of some of these things. That I currently serve as president-elect of the American Medical Association, practicing otolaryngology. I'm a graduate of the University of Michigan, where Nita and I met as freshmen there. If she was here, she would tell you that she thought I was kind of an ass, and gradually I wore her down, and we eventually got married, and the rest is history. Did my training in Chicago at Loyola, and currently serve as president-elect of the American Medical Association. Next slide. So when I was elected president-elect of the American Medical Association, it was an uncontested election, which was a little unusual. Nobody ran against me. But because of that, I only got 90 seconds instead of minutes and hours to sort of thank people. And this was one of the slides that I put in the presentation. So on the left there, you see the childhood home of my dad from Buddhavaram in Andhra Pradesh, and then that of my mom in Totlavalur in Andhra Pradesh. And this was what I grew up going to visit in the 70s and the 80s. Next slide, please. And this is them when they first came to this country. Right, so this is the Lincoln Memorial, obviously. My mom told me after I put this in my presentation that she was actually pregnant with me in this picture. And so that's why there's a little bulge there at the feet of Lincoln. But my dad, he matched at Hurley Hospital in Flint, Michigan, and this is just something that illustrates what it was like to come and not know anybody and not know anything about the system. He got 2 job offers. And he took the one that paid $400 more per year and ended up doing radiology at Hurley Hospital in Flint, Michigan, instead of some place called Johns Hopkins University Hospital in Baltimore. Right? $400, I'll take it. That's what he said. And they ended up in Flint, and the rest is history. And when they finished their residency, it was about 1976 when they both finished, and they wanted to move to suburban Flint, right? So just 15 miles south, where a lot of the professional community lived. And they were the first non-white people to move into this neighborhood in Grand Blanc, Michigan, just a few zip codes south of where they trained. But what things were like there in the 70s, the chief resident in internal medicine was a black man by the name of Samuel Disman. He was not allowed to buy a home in that same neighborhood because he was black. Right? This is 1970s, just outside Flint, Michigan. And this is the world that they came to when they came to this country. Next slide, please. But when I was going through medical school, I was apathetic, I guess is what I would say. I wasn't one of these people that was involved in organized medicine. As a medical student, I was just, even though I was in college and medical school, if I brought home anything less than an A, there was a conversation that my parents were going to have with me. And so my whole focus was just getting good grades. It was just all about the grades. It wasn't about leadership. But then I became aware of all of the things that are wrong in medicine. Next slide, please. So when I started practicing, I decided to try to fix those things that I observed. Things like the fact that in my zip code in Flint, Michigan, Nita and I live in the city, in 48503, the average life expectancy is 10 years shorter than where my parents live in 48439, just a couple exits south on the expressway. Right? So we have a problem with health equity in this country, and I found myself being drawn towards trying to solve problems like that. Next slide, please. And in this world of trying to solve these problems, we have to be creative. And so, when COVID happened and I heard about stories about people getting tested for COVID with these swabs and how incredibly painful it was to have these swabs at the parking lot of their pharmacies. And I thought, I stick things in people's noses all the time, and it's not that painful. And so I started to teach them how to do this, and then got involved in the COVID response in my community and vaccinated tens of thousands of people. But there's a consequence to this, and this is what I tell medical students. When I started to do this, I started to get hate mail because COVID became so politicized instead of staying in the realm of science. And I got letters telling me to go back to my own country, the communist country where I came from, anonymous letters. And death threats. In fact, Nita was very nervous. She sent one of them to the FBI because of a very specific death threat. And what I wanted to tell this guy that told me to go back to my communist country was, dude, I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And even if I had come from India, it is the biggest democracy on the planet. And so, of course, I didn't have a chance to tell him because he was anonymous. Next slide, please. And I also had to make a decision about the type of leader I wanted to be. Right? With all the school shootings that were happening, somebody told me how easy it was to buy an AR-15. I didn't believe them, so I went out and I did this social experiment where I went to the local store, Guns Galore, just out near my office in Flint, and I bought an AR-15. I had never touched anything more than a slingshot that I got in Andhra Pradesh, actually, when I was a kid. And it took me 14 minutes to buy an AR-15 and 90 bullets. And I put it on social media because I thought that that's a problem. Right? We shouldn't have that easy access to a weapon that has this potential for destruction. And then I got a scolding from the chair of the board of the American Medical Association because I had just gotten elected. And he said, you know, at the AMA, we don't do things like that. We write white papers about gun policy and firearm policy, and that's not what we do, and don't do that anymore. And so then I put on a suit and tie and I started to talk about gun advocacy. But this is, again, something I tell to medical students, that we have to assess the risk of our advocacy. Next slide, please. And my aspiration is to leave things better than I found them for my children, right? So that the health of this country, you know, I just came from the World Medical Association in Finland. For what we spend on healthcare in this country and what we deliver for healthcare in this country, there is a huge gap that we need to fix, right? And I aspire that in my short time as leader of the American Medical Association, that we will move things in the right direction and get more value so that my kids will live in a better country with better health care and better prevention of disease instead of just treatment of disease. Next slide, please. And so again, I just wanted to share this background. This is my 90-second speech at the American Medical Association, but basically what I said as the press quote after that was that it's a turbulent time to be a physician in this country. Challenges like an unsustainable Medicare program, things like prior authorization that are leading to physician burnout are the kind of things that I want to fix. Next slide, please. And so now, getting into some details about our core advocacy priorities at the American Medical Association. At the top of that list is Medicare reform, right? The fact that in the time that I've been in practice, the past 20 some years, this is my 24th year in practice, that we have inflation adjusted a drop in payment for Medicare almost 30%, right? And yet we all know that are managing our medical practice, managing anything in healthcare, costs have not gone down by 30%, right? In fact, we've seen double-digit increases in costs. And so this gap between what we get compensated for the care we provide and what it costs to provide that care has become a top priority of the American Medical Association. The fact that if you look at payments to hospitals and entities like that from the Medicare program, that graph looks like this. There's an annual adjustment based on the cost of providing care. The curve for physician payment is like this for 20 years. That is not sustainable. That has a consequence to healthcare in this country. And so that is why that is one of the main priorities of the American Medical Association. In addition to that, the burden of prior authorization on our care. The fact that 90-some% of physicians have described instances where there is a consequence, a negative consequence to care. This is something that it's all things that you know, right? There was one statistic I saw that showed that there's 1 million physicians working in this country. There are 1.8 million people working on prior authorization, right? 1 to 1.8, the ratio of the people on both sides, the person asking for the prior authorization and the person answering the call to grant that prior authorization. When you look at all of those resources, that's the statistic. And there's a consequence to this, right? When I gave testimony at our state society about the burden of prior authorization and then the patient consequence of prior authorization, I described the story of my patient who had stage 1 tonsil cancer, waiting a month to get a PET scan, developed a neck node, and had advanced stage tonsil cancer just in waiting for the PET scan to do the staging that the oncologist wanted. And so we're winning these battles in some states, right? And so there's a lot of advocacy work at the American Medical Association on that. And then making sure that the healthcare in this country is provided by a team that includes a physician, what we call our scope of practice issues, right? Patients have a right to have care that's delivered by a group of people that includes a physician, not in the absence of a physician. And then also the consequence of all of these things on physician wellness. The fact that we have a 50% burnout rate among physicians. It's a little down compared to where it was, in the post-COVID era of about 60%. That was an all-time high. But the fact that 1 out of every 2 of us is experiencing symptoms of burnout exacerbates the physician shortage. Right? And that has a consequence. And so we're lots of advocacy on physician supply. And then finally, advancing digital health, telehealth solutions, some of the silver lining post-COVID about how best to take care of our patients using some of this new technology. Next slide, please. And so, as I mentioned earlier, our main priority is fixing Medicare so it becomes sustainable. That we have HR 2474 as a bill that has 200 some sponsors now that seeks to just treat physician payment like hospital payments, where there is an annual inflationary adjustment based on the Medicare Economic Index that basically says if your costs go up, your payments go up. Right? It sounds simple. Everybody else in healthcare has it that way, and then physicians have to fight every year to not get cut. There's a 2.8% cut that's in front of Congress right now. And so this is the stuff that we're fighting for. Next slide, please. So our profession and our patients need a unified voice. And the AMA, I'm proud to say, is that voice. I didn't mention the robust work that's happening at the American Medical Association with international medical graduates as a solution for our physician shortage. We're going to be 100,000 physicians short. The last time we had that shortage in the 70s, you saw the picture of my parents that had these job opportunities to come to this country and build a life for my sister and me and help our community in Flint, Michigan. That opportunity is much more limited now, and it shouldn't be. We're facing another shortage, and the American Medical Association is working on that as well. Next slide. So please join us. Feel free to scan this QR code. It is something that I'm very passionate about. My parents came to this country and gave my sister and I this life, and my hope is to leave medicine better than I found it through my leadership at the American Medical Association. Next slide. So it's been my sincere honor. I'm looking forward to the conversations that we'll have over dinner. But thank you again to this community, for the people that are shoring up the delivery of medical care in this part of our country. We play a critical role in that, and I will continue to do that as your leader at the American Medical Association, and hopefully for generations to come. Thank you.
First, I would like to thank Dr. Cora for making Dr. Mukamala available to come here to speak. As you know, as I said, Dr. Cora has been a member of organized medicine for many years, and he's also a member of the Indiana's delegation to the AMA for over 20 years. And I can tell you, I think Dr. Mukamala is part of Gen Z. And how do I know that? Raise your hand if you've taken a selfie with Dr. Mukamala today. Am I the only one? I'm pretty sure it's Gen Z. So I met Dr. Bobby in 2018 when we went to Flint, Michigan, and he just spoke about physician burnout. And when you get a chance, ask him how he did on his climb up to the Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm pretty sure that either created burnout or relieved burnout. He'll tell you the true answer. Okay. Now the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes. Is it finally time for dinner?
Just like a resident, always looking to see where there's free food. Remember those days? I know you do. No, actually right now we're a very important part of the night, the Lifetime Award Achievement presentation. This award is being proudly sponsored by the Centers of Digestive Health. Please see their ad on page 46. And if you remember, just like the United Center, and I think in Michigan, the Detroit Pistons play at the Little Caesars. So this year, the Lifetime Achievement Award is being sponsored by CDH. So they have comprehensive GI and liver services. They have a new modern office in Munster, Indiana, in addition to other locations in Northwest Indiana. And I'd like to thank my friend and colleague, Dr. Naveen Kumar. I know he's not going to stand up even if I ask, but they're all over there. And his associates for their inaugural sponsorship for this award. And as physicians, we know that it is groups such as yours and individuals like our awardee that make practicing medicine rewarding. Please see any of the IMA board members so that we can highlight the hardworking groups in our area for future sponsorships. So I need a drum roll. The Lifetime Achievement Award for the 42nd Northwest Indiana IMA Gala goes to Dr. Surendra Shah. And in typical fashion, I'm going to introduce my friend and colleague, also a radiologist, yay, Dr. Shailesh Bhatt, for over 25 years from the Methodist Hospital, to say a few words about Dr. Shah.
Hello, hi there. Dr. Shah, good friend. I think most people here probably they know him. Either you are associated with Methodist, ICC, HRC, or any of the younger guys who came in later may not know him that well. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Shah, who has provided almost close to 40 years of service to Northwest Indiana. Going back, anybody, I always get a phone call. You know somebody? Yeah, you can go inside, you take care of it. These are the people who don't have insurance. They don't know what to do. Always got that call and he always took care of it. He's been past IMA president. He's been chairman of IACC, Northwest Indiana Hindu Regional Center. I was part of that team that made that center debt free. I'm happy and proud of it. With that, I think I used to go once a month, every Tuesday, utilizes management committee. Surendra chaired that committee for many, many years at Methodist Hospital. With that, I'll ask something that we don't know to highlight his accomplishment, to introduce him. For that, Dr. Nirav Shah and Neha Shah, daughter and son, to highlight his achievement in social activities. Nirav and Neha.
Hi, everybody. I think it's been 10 years since I emceed, and I am a millennial. So, good evening. Neha and I are just going to say a very few words, but it's truly a privilege and an honor to stand here tonight, recognizing someone who has not only shaped my life and Neha's life in countless ways, but has also left an indelible impact on his community, my father. To his patients and neighbors, he was much more than just a physician. He was a beacon of care and compassion. Whether it was a quick greeting at the grocery store or a heartfelt conversation on the street, he always made time to listen, offering support and wisdom.
His dedication reached across continents, extending to our ancestral home in Kutch, India, where he provided medical services to those in need. My father's quiet but steadfast commitment to his service has earned him countless accolades. But beyond the awards and recognition, it's his genuine spirit of giving that resonates deeply with so many of us. Tonight, we celebrate not only his professional achievements, but his legacy of kindness, generosity, and community. It's my deepest honor to introduce him as we come together to celebrate his lifetime of service.
Come in the middle.
To present this award, I would like to invite Frank Mervan. Congressman Mervan is a dedicated public servant who has devoted his career to advocating for the residents of Indiana's 1st Congressional District. Born and raised in Northwest Indiana, he has deep roots in the community. He continues his commitment to serving the people of Indiana, focusing on economic development, job creation, and improving access to quality health care. I would like to request Congressman Mervan to say a few words.
One, I want to thank the Indiana Medical Association for allowing me to be here today, and I want to be able to talk about Dr. Shaw. I've known him for over 25 years, and he's been someone who has been a dedicated and fierce advocate for his family. Yes. I've got ahead of myself.
Thank you.